For life.
Nostalgic November here on Podzilla 1985, a idea that we did last year and that we've done again this year, poorly, very poorly executed, and we forget to mention on every show, but that's why we have the old intro song, and we have a special surprise for you tonight because we have one of our original cast members from Pro Wrestling Unscripted. My name is Shannon Young. Down at the end of the table, our special guest tonight, Asa Gray, the 5-star man.
I'm not one of the original members, though.
Yeah, you are.
I was like, who's the original member? It's just you.
Oh, Jesus, you're so loud. You weren't that loud. You! Who was ever that loud?
Allie?
Was I talking?
Shh. Asa Gray, the 5-star man, at the end of the table.
Yes.
Allie Abear to my right,
Hello.
wearing her pink gizmo hat. Yeet. Say yeet.
No.
That's Ace's thing.
Can you not say even yeet?
Don't you dare.
Oh.
I'm okay.
Don't you dare.
What's the
Quit
status update on those? The Yeetses or the
Oh, Yeats by Gray won by a landslide.
did it?
Yeah.
When those coming out?
We'll see.
Is that not a shoe line?
TBD.
Okay.
Is that not a shoe line?
And the Big D Dalton Anthony
Yo.
getting banged over there.
Yeah.
All right. Real quick, we want to apologize for last week's show.
I apologize for nothing.
While we have you here.
I don't give a... Nope.
So Asa Gray, our good friend down at the end of the table, he has this thought in his head that we can do this without him. And I think last week proved that, sure, we can do it without him in the same way that a baby can fight Muhammad Ali. It can happen. It won't be pretty, though.
I mean, no, I'm not gonna.
So we're extremely happy to have Asa Gray back on the show. And I think I speak for all of us when I say never leave again.
I have to go now. My planet needs me.
This is your planet. This is your home planet now, buddy.
Prove it.
Let's jump right into the week's news and notes, and let's start off by talking about what happened at Raw when maybe we should start by talking about what happened on SmackDown with the title. Where do you go on this one? Where do you start with? Let's start with Raw.
Well, I figured that's actual,
SmackDown
actual
news.
Because it's an actual injury.
All right, let's start with Raw then, and let's talk about Becky Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
So Becky Lynch on Raw, if you guys watched it, I've seen the clip from two different angles. Did you watch the other angle?
Yeah.
It's bad.
Because a lot of people were giving Dana Brooke shit. Because she had, her blood on her.
Right.
And because of the way Raw is presented, and there's, a million cuts a second.
Yeah.
You couldn't really tell what happened. So there was a fan clip that got posted, and then on SmackDown they showed the montage, the series of what happened, and then they specifically took whatever camera was actually focused on them and showed that in slow motion of just Nia Jax punching the absolute shit out of Becky Lynch.
Giant ham hock for a fist and knocked her
like she owed her
clean
money
to the ground. Yeah. And guess if you were to say, okay, I'm sure Naya's probably going to get heat for this, and apparently she has gotten. A lot of the SmackDown women are pissed about it.
A lot of people are pissed about it, and then when you see how she's been handling it, of just we're not postal workers.
Well,
how come no one's going to talk about my hand? As you see a giant chunk taken out of the knuckle
from hitting her so hard,
right?
The only time that was perfectly okay to do?
Never.
Whenever it was CJ Parker and Kevin Owens. Because that was just a pure accident.
Well, I mean, Nia Jax, okay, if she's heel again, which I guess she is, right?
Ish, yeah. She joined up with Tamina, and beat up Ember Moon a couple times.
That's a super heel move to that comment. It really is. It reminds me of Sami Callihan when, after he did the baseball bat thing where he kind of embraced it and made himself look like a bigger asshole. And it works. But sometimes it's hard to tell in this business because we have now officially worked in this business for 2 years. And sometimes it's hard to tell when something is a legitimate, I'm irritated, so I'm going to post a shitty message versus, well, I got to make the best of this, so maybe I'll try to save face.
And it's also weird considering that, for whatever reason, all of the women's wrestlers on Twitter have their real names as their profile.
Yeah.
And then it's just and then their wrestler name WWE as the handle.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's weird. I'm not going to go into if she. I don't think she did it on purpose.
I don't either.
But I do think that was a very shitty thing to do, and there's no reason to go out and be actively shitty towards Nia Jax. But when you look at the history of people that she has hurt in the past, it's a long list.
Yeah, and I have said it on the show a million times that I've never been super impressed with Nia Jax.
And I've always liked her.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
And it's one of those things where it's like I've always defended her. Where it's like this time it's just kind of like, man, you like legit just
Cold cocked her.
hard.
And someone said, "Oh, it was just a reflex type thing." And it's like, well, if that's your reflex to being in a,
Fake
Dalton, you got
fight.
something you want to say here?
I have accidentally punched somebody in the face before in like a match.
Did you almost break your hand when you did it though?
No, because like whenever I hit them, I made contact way too hard, and if they're listening, I'm still sorry. But whenever I felt the thud,
Yeah.
my
hand stopped because I thought, oh shit,
I just really hit this dude.
I just really punched him in the face.
Nia's did not.
well, and you weren't throwing like full speed though.
No, I
She
was.
threw a
Oh, shit.
haymaker though.
I was because I was supposed to whenever I did it, I thought I had more time to pull my punch. So whenever I throw a punch, I am throwing it full force until I get there. And then I stop it. The person met me halfway when I wasn't expecting them to. And I cracked him in the jaw.
Yeah.
But whenever I got there, I stopped because I thought, oh, I actually really hit this person.
She followed through.
She
She
really
went
did.
through it, and that was the part I was. Again, it's really hard for me to be like, oh well, no, F her, because it's like it's hard to like say it because I don't know what was going through her head. But it's one of those like I saw Van comment on something of being like, yeah, no, she followed through with that. She meant to do it. Like, it's one of those, like, she made the commitment, connected, and then went through. Because that's what really messes you up. It's not the contact, it's the follow-through. Because your hand is still going through that person. And that's what sends, like, the shockwave through the body and concussion and all that good noise. But, like, she cracked her. And did you, like, see the thing on Reddit? Because that's what Derek sent me. He sent me, like, list of times Nia's hurt people.
Yeah.
Did you watch all of them?
No, because I knew,
Okay.
like, I recognized most of them.
There was a few of them that were, it was unfair. Now, don't get me wrong. Nia messed up Becky.
Yeah.
There's no defending it. There was a couple of them that was just like, she put her wrong knee down for a backbreaker. So she gave her a sidewalk slam.
I like that you say there's no defending her, because guess who defended her?
The Rock?
No.
Oh.
If I had to ask you,
Jim Cornette.
name one. No, a different asshole.
Russo.
Let me get the hint out. If there's one asshole in wrestling that's way too outspoken and opens his mouth on stuff he doesn't need to open his
Time
mouth
out. We just said the number 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's not.
Okay, this one might be number 3 then. It's Ryback.
Oh, I don't care
Nah,
about him.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny though, because Ryback, it was Brian Alvarez. Brian Alvarez posted a thing about the Becky Lynch thing, and he posted, there you go, that was not an inadvertent elbow. She punched her right in the face. I don't want anyone to lose their job, but at the very least, Nia needs to be sent back to developmental for a while. This isn't the first, second, or even third time this has happened. That's a fair point.
Right.
That is a fair point. Ryback replied with, and how many F words do I get? Oh, I'm just going to say it.
4, because we haven't used any yet.
Plus,
but-
I'm quoting. He said, shut the fuck up. Who the hell are you to make a statement like that? You're a fucking mark, and your shit opinion is the reason a lot of people spew hate onto wrestlers. You're a pussy who can't do it, so you criticize those who can. Mistakes happen. Your parents understand that.
That's hilarious because
God!
Brian Alvarez is probably a better wrestler than Ryback is.
Brian Alvarez replied, I started wrestling in the mid-90s in over 1,000 matches with everyone from Buddy Wayne to Lance Storm to the Rock and Roll Express and Los Villanos and Larry Sweeney and Jack Evans and everyone else. I never hurt anyone ever. Pretty sure I'm qualified to give my opinion on working. So shut your mouth.
You know what?
Ryback.
I'm not even mad he beat Marco now.
like he got that win clean. It's fine now. You earned it, Brian. No, I've always liked Brian Alvarez. Like, and I respect his opinion on stuff.
I liked Ryback, but man, when you take someone out of the you can't say whatever you want, and he can now say whatever he wants, really shows you what a fucking asshole they can turn out to be.
Yeah, but the whole point is now that we've said his name, that's all he wanted.
True.
Yeah.
So let's stop
He's
saying
just
it.
grasping onto last shreds of relevancy.
So what do you think should happen to, and by the way, major props to Becky Lynch, because not only did she get up, cut her promo at the end of Raw and looked great. And in fact, the only reason I knew something happened.
She didn't cut a promo at the end of Raw.
Well, I mean, when she
did it-
when she did the arm,
She
disarmor.
kept going.
Yeah.
But she kept going, cleared out the locker room, and then in what's going to turn out to be one of her like Austin 316 moments, standing there posing, blood on her broken ass face.
Yeah.
Just
And the only reason I knew was
honestly,
because the video went to black and white.
Hot take. This is probably one of the best things that could happen to Becky.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
now
Instead of just losing to Rousey.
her crazy white hot, her white hotness is not going away. Is not going to get derailed in losing to Ronda. She has like legit credibility of having her face broken, and that is an iconic image.
Yep.
That is one of those like greatest photos of 2018.
That's Austin in the sharpshooter with Bret Hart, blood pouring down his face, not quitting.
Yeah. The promo that she cut on SmackDown with
really
the probably that line of the century.
You're not the baddest.
You're not the baddest bitch on the planet. You're the luckiest. Oh, yes. Killing it.
Now compare that to what Ronda Rousey said about her, that she
Okay.
was a millennial.
By the way, do you know how old Ronda Rousey is?
How old?
She's
Like
2
32.
days older than Becky Lynch.
I thought that was in
This is the most Vince writing I have ever seen. Like, how are you...
And that's what scares me about this, because you're absolutely right. Not only is Becky Lynch like the hottest thing going right now, but she could go into the stratosphere, brother, strap the rocket on her, but will Vince? Or will
Probably.
he continue to push the Ronda Rousey thing of, no, Ronda's the one, Becky's the bad guy, fuck the fans, I'm going to play my story out no matter what you like.
Well, they've stopped trying to do her like overtly as a heel.
Good.
Like she even had a tweet or something where it's like, I was prepared to go without you, but you came with me. Like I was prepared to go where I needed to go without you, but you still came. Like something like that. And it was like, okay, yeah, she's now her character, because the character, the man, Becky Lynch on Twitter is fucking top notch.
Gold.
Ronda put this huge tweet about like, oh, you got hit in the face for real, and now you can't fight, like just something shitty like that. And she's like, huh, that's funny, because the first time I got punched in the face for real, I still cleared out your locker room, showed up to work the next night, did my thing. The first time you got punched in the face for real, you hid under your blankie for a year.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
Hold on, let me grab the fire extinguisher.
No F. No F's given.
And then you quit that career the second time.
You burnt. So you can look forward to Ronda Rousey beating Becky Lynch very soon.
So not only did she, so that punch broke her nose, but it also concussed her. And that's why
told you she was concussed.
Okay, I didn't know if there was a concussion.
That's why she was pulled from Survivor Series.
Because the reason because I didn't know if it was a full concussion yet, but if you look where it was cut, it was right here, and I was like, I mean, that would be a cut that would also take you. They would be like, yeah, we're not going to put you back in there.
I mean, with a broken nose, I don't think they would let her wrestle. But I don't know.
I mean, you
would a
could wrestle
broken
with-
nose?
Yeah.
yeah, you can wrestle with a broken nose.
I just assumed any broken bone would be like, no, you can't wrestle.
No, you can.
They would probably try to not like make you do a lot of
Face bumps.
face stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Cody Rhodes' whole thing was that's like how he got the mask.
Oh, the
because he was
mask,
wrestling
yeah.
with a broken nose.
So what do you think should happen to Naya? Very clearly, Becky should be. There should be a rocket strapped on her, and she should go to the moon and come back. But what about Naya?
Honestly, I don't have an answer for that. I don't know if she needs more time in developmental. I don't know if that would necessarily help, because when you've been, because it's, I mean, but there's precedent for it, which it's been 40 years. But when Big Show first came to WWE, he did like 2 things and then went straight to OVW.
They even cut him out of one of the games. I forget which was it. No Mercy. I think it was No Mercy. They cut him from No Mercy.
I mean, he won the title before he got pushed back down.
Yeah, but he definitely got pushed back.
He got pushed
but
back
he got
down,
sent
yeah.
back because he needed it. So it'll be I don't know if it will help, because like some of those things that they posted, like she put Asuka on the mat instead of her knee.
And then there was
but there is the one where it's like she screwed up the shoulder breaker and dropped Charlotte on her head not once but twice in rapid succession.
Yeah,
and like not catching, which if you're going to send people back to developmental for not catching people, Miz would have never been on the main roster.
Yeah.
Poor R-Truth. I still remember that.
I was gonna say something. Oh, I think the Big Show one wasn't that he was unsafe though. He just was lazy. Like he wasn't motivated.
Well, yeah, but
that's part of it.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying it was
Yeah.
because they were for being unsafe. It was just
He needed seasoning.
You took someone on the main roster and sent them to developmental.
Yeah.
You really don't get that a lot unless it isn't a complete and utter character rework.
Right.
Like we even talked about it in the group chat, because like on the conference call for Survivor Series or NXT, Triple H said that he sees NXT as a third brand that people can be can be sent from NXT to Raw or SmackDown, but it's not out of the question for people from Raw or SmackDown to go to NXT. And it's like I said in the group chat, they've been saying that exact same line for like a full year.
And no one's really gone
And
back,
no one's
has
ever
they?
gone back.
Except for like live shows.
Yeah, live shows
Yeah.
are one-offs.
Right.
But no one has like joined the NXT roster from Raw or SmackDown.
I saw a picture that someone posted of Nia Jax posing with The Rock, and below it said job security, which is really unfair.
I mean, but that's been a thing.
That's been an accusation for a
ever
long
since
time.
like they accused her of just like walking out because she didn't like her story or whatever.
Right, with Enzo, right? Was that but during that time period?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I think it was I think it was farther back than that, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Alan,
I
I'll
don't-
swing it to you. This is our new segment on the show called Allie's Take. Allie, what do you think about Nia Jax slugging Becky Lynch and the Irish badass coming back?
I think kind of like what Dalton said, if you have the training on being able to pull a punch, if you knew you were actually hitting someone, you would start to pull the punch right away if you didn't mean to, but she didn't at all. So that makes you question, because if it's an accident, like a true accident, then forgiveness and learning, she probably needs more learning if these accidents are happening a lot. But if this is just she let anger get to her at a time when she's supposed to be able to take care of another person in that ring, that's just neglect.
Yep, and I wonder what anger, because I mean, Nia Jax, she doesn't really have a reputation for being a bad apple, does she?
Not really.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, she's not a problem person backstage from anything I've heard. She doesn't have an attitude, per se. Her slugging Becky Lynch on purpose just seems like it's out of the question.
You want to know? You want to know the crazy, the Ace Conspiracy?
I do.
She knew that Becky was going to lose to Ronda, and that Ronda was going, and then that was going to totally derail everything that she's been doing as the man and all of this. And so she threw herself on the grenade of like, I'm gonna fuck her up. I will sacrifice myself to make sure that she, keeps her place. Because now there's all this talk of, okay, well, since Charlotte has officially replaced Becky in its Survivor Series in the match against Ronda, everyone assumed that was the Mania match.
Yeah.
Well, now we're already getting that, so the Mania match can now be Ronda Becky. Good on
It's
selfless and just
So you're saying we should really hold Naya up as
Yes.
like a martyr?
like thank you, Naya.
Yeah.
that is the
Hashtag thank you, Naya, trending in this room.
I don't know which movie it is, but that is very much the Hogan movie where the guy kills his own dog so he doesn't have to see the horrible movie.
Jesus Christ.
He's like, this movie's gonna be horrible. I don't want you to see it. Woo!
All I'm saying is that Rikishi did it for The Rock. He did it for The Rock. All right, we can't talk about Becky Lynch forever. Although I'd love to, because Becky Lynch she's Irish,
The man is just the coolest fucking thing.
incredibly talented, gorgeous, everything you've ever wanted to check off from like what a perfect wrestling person is. It's like her and Finn Balor, and they're both Irish. No coincidence.
But you said Irish was one of the things you look for, so of course you picked the two.
Meanwhile, the British wrestlers are over there talking about spotted dick and a cup of tea, and they've got 6 teeth among them.
I'm the longest reigning champion in WWE, even though I've defended it twice.
He defends it all the time.
Yeah, on WWE
On
2K19.
Is it televised? Is it on the network even?
No, I'm sure it's on different
He's probably
streaming
Twitch
services.
streaming it, yeah. When he fights his friends.
No, if it ain't on the network, it don't count to me.
God, are you playing as yourself again?
I don't even know if you even tried to say words.
He didn't. Jesus Christ.
All right.
What culture?
That's only funny because Derek and I were doing that for like 10 minutes on our drive last night.
Well, we can't go after the Saudis right now, so it's time for the British people to take it.
Oh no, fuck them.
time
We
for
can
them.
always go after the Saudis.
It's time for those Brits, those damn redcoats, to take their lumps.
Joey Ryan has a torn pec.
Yeah, he injured himself at a show earlier this week. He did post a picture of I think someone, I don't remember what it was, but they photoshopped the beds so it looked like Triple H and Joey Ryan were in the hospital next to each other. It's like, I hear it's going around.
Speaking of, Cody Rhodes, MRI apparently revealed he has a damaged meniscus.
Potentially. So, well, just jumping back to Joey Ryan, unless he posted an update and I didn't see it, I don't think there's any timetable on his return, but it's going to be a while because of, I saw the Lego custom thing that I really liked.
That's awesome.
I'm going to see if I can find if he's posted anything else. But yeah, it was, he posted a picture of in the hospital and he had the same gigantic, disgusting bruise that Triple H had.
Well, his didn't go all the way up into like his chest though, did it?
I don't. Man,
I mean, he has a lot of chest hair, so
It was
I really
on his-
can't tell,
it
but
was
it's definitely on
definitely
his bicep.
While you're looking at that, we want to give a quick shout out to our good friend Lane Austin, who did you see his picture?
Yes.
Of the staples going all the way up and around his back, and they're actually putting a zipper on him, which is pretty cool. It's gonna scare kids at Halloween. He's had surgery.
What's he
I
gonna
know.
keep? What's he gonna keep in there?
Muscles,
Snacks.
like a million muscles.
So many muscles.
But Lane, we wish you the best. I don't know if he's listening to this. If you're a Stride guy or if you're a CCW guy and you want to pass on, because we've already told him ourselves, but pass this along to him that we wish you the best in your recovery. We can't wait to see you again, and we love you so much. And I'm stalling.
Dear
Did not know
Lord.
Lane Austin was so country sounding till we had him on the show once, and I realized that he definitely kept that accent back in the back. That's all I'm saying.
back in the back.
Yeah,
Back
it's
in the
his
bank.
entire bicep. It's hard to tell. It is hard to tell.
Yeah,
if
no,
it's
it's his entire. Yeah.
It's hard to tell if it's going up into his chest, but yeah.
No, Lane is one of my favorite people to talk. Like,
Yeah, Lane
to
is just
at
one
shows.
of the best people in general.
I'll always see him like I'll get done with training and I'll go get out of the ring and I'll see him just sitting like 4 rows back in a random chair. I'll be like, well, I'm gonna sit by you for 10 minutes and talk.
I miss Lane. I hope he's doing okay.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah.
He said he went for an MRI.
This is Joey Ryan, not Lane.
Yeah,
Right.
Joey Ryan. Still waiting on his MRI results. That was yesterday, and it doesn't look like he has posted anything else. He's posted he's like retweeted a bunch of shows, because he's really good about like promoting stuff that he's going to be on.
Right.
But yeah, I don't.
Also, nice guy. We met him last year.
2 years
and
ago.
incredibly-
Almost 2 years ago.
Incredibly nice guy. I loved him.
Yeah, we don't have any. He hasn't posted any kind of update on when he'll be back, but it'll probably be a while because torn pectorals are very significant.
Isn't that what John Cena had when he came back early at Royal Rumble? Or am I crazy?
No, he had maybe.
I don't remember.
Because I remember he came back way
Yeah,
early.
No, he had a torn labrum. I think he had a torn shoulder. It was something like that. He tore something in his shoulder.
Yeah, I think you may be right.
Because his surgery's up here. That's a shoulder.
But yeah, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, tell me about Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes apparently was like was pacing back and forth in the ring doing the t-shirt like throw spot, and he heard a loud snap as he was walking. So he went to the MRI. They said that they're sure they think that his ACL, MCL, like all of that is structurally sound, but his meniscus requires scoping.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't think that because he missed ROH date. Wrestling, he still went as like a meet and greet thing, but he doesn't think it will cause him to miss any more shows, so that's good.
That is good. And we
'Cause
wish everyone that's hurt the best in recovery. It does seem like a plague right now.
Again, when does wrestling just become a debate, like the debate clubs, so we can stop hurting
Allie,
people?
what is the greatest wrestling debate of all time? It's only one answer.
Oh, I know it.
You want to phone a friend?
Yeah.
Okay, who you going to phone?
Dalton.
All right.
Chris Nowitzki versus Scott Steiner.
That is correct.
Scott Steiner fought Mini Country.
He did. And you can take that Hollywood crap, the Dixie Chicks, and whatever. Someone hated Scott Steiner at that point and thought, what do we do to Steiner?
Yeah, it's called WWE Creative.
Put him in a debate. Let him use his words and not his steroid-infused muscles.
Allegedly.
That he allegedly had muscles?
The steroid.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So the top tweet or the number one thing on my Twitter right now is a tweet from Luke Harper. Did you see what he put earlier this week or last week or something? He took his son to like a grocery store or something, and he's like, clearly everyone here thinks that he has been abducted. Let me see if I can pull this up.
Does he not just post the, you know what that?
Oh,
what
no,
is
he
it?
still does that too.
He still does it, but yeah. And he posted pictures of his son, who is just this adorable small child, and then a selfie of him next to it, and he looks like Luke
Next
Harper.
to the child, the boy,
next
not
to the
it.
next to the picture.
Oh, okay.
I love the,
Fucking
no, it's okay, calm down.
My son Nolan and I get a lot of attention at the supermarket, either because he's really cute or because women instantly assume I stole him from somewhere.
Remember when he was on the Up Up Down Down, and his kid wanted to play as, what was it? Didn't want to play as like Big E or something,
Yeah, but he says
or
something
he
like,
wanted to partner with Big E,
Big E, but-
instead of his dad. Very upsetting to him.
When I pet my dogs, I hear a sound in my head like when you pat your horse in Red Dead, and I assume our bonding level goes up. The man is a treasure.
He is.
Allie, what was Luke Harper before he was a wrestler? What was his profession?
Teacher.
no, wasn't it librarian?
It was a librarian, yeah.
That's kind of a teacher.
Adam, Hangman was the teacher. He actually talked about that on a Jericho Cruise podcast. He was just like, yeah, no, so I would work Monday through Friday. I would instantly get on the road right after school, go wrestle Friday, Saturday, and do half-ass lesson plans on Sunday. And then they told me I was going to Japan, and then that was the last month I taught.
Allie, what's the name? What's his name before he became Luke Harper? What was his indie name?
I can't read lips, Dalton.
I was trying really hard, Brody Lee.
I know.
Brody Lee.
Okay.
And where did
You
get
also
that name
have a
from?
microphone in front of your mouth, so it's hard to see. What was your question?
Where did he get the name from?
Again, just lots of dead air.
Oh my goodness.
Tell it, Don.
Jason Lee, the actor, because he kind of looks like him. And then
Okay.
Brody from...
It was Mallrats, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it was Jason Lee's
Lee and
character.
Mallrats, yeah. I just think that's a cool
I
story.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
Because he loves that movie, and then it was Brody and then Jason Lee.
And that's my second favorite random wrestler name. My first, of course, is Chris Sabin, who named himself after the Final Fantasy VI character, which is just awesome. Say what's not awesome, and that's that JR, Jim Ross, good old Jim Ross, is said to be done with the WWE in March, and the WWE is apparently stopping him from calling Wrestle Kingdom. That's upsetting on so many levels because I forgot JR was even there. JR was my favorite announcer. I think a lot of us are favorite play-by-play guys for the longest time.
I think
he definitely has missed a step at this point, but my God, he's been doing it for so long.
Well, and I don't think it's even that he's been doing it for so long. I think it has more to do with the fact that it's hard to compare him doing like once every couple months broadcasts in New Japan versus weekly, sometimes multiple times a week, following, like, he's living with these guys. He's watching them literally every week. He's invested in the stories. He's helping, like he's giving advice to people. He is very much a part of the backstage environment and how that company runs.
Right.
And then he's calling those matches week in, week out. He can look for the little things that people do to really spotlight that versus New Japan is not a product that he would watch regularly. And then he comes and calls the matches, but he isn't as familiar with the characters and their nuances and things like that. So yeah, he gets a lot of crap because you can't say that it feels like it's not the same JR calling those Wrestle Kingdom shows, especially, and granted, yes, it is 20 plus years after, the golden period of him and Jerry Lawler. When he was at his absolute best.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, like, stuff happens, but it is a bummer that WWE's blocking him. I saw a lot of like really snarky comments.
And they didn't
about,
really utilize him when they had him.
They used him 2 times that I can absolutely remember that was gold. Not the Mae Young Classic.
Beast in the East. No, that was Cole.
No. That was Cole.
Done and I thought we were playing a game where I was going to guess and impress you.
No.
Oh,
I mean,
go ahead.
That was the one.
Well, you said 2 though.
Yeah, that was one. And then whenever Roman Reigns, it was Reigns versus Triple H at WrestleMania. Because we all said Jim Ross put over Roman Reigns in 30 seconds more than WWE was able to in 2 years.
I forgot about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he came out and called the main, didn't he?
Yup.
Yeah. That's a shame.
But thank you for
Yeah, I don't remember.
for picking the best match.
I mean, no, that match was amazing, and he did a great job calling it. And he has an amazing story with that, too. Because he said, like, yeah, it's weird whenever you have these 2, like, 20-year-old and 23-year-old kid that you're about, like, I'm only calling your match tonight. They don't think I have it, and your guys are out here to impress everybody, so let's just do this as a team.
JR will go down, I think, as the best play-by-play man of all time. Bold statement. I back it up, though.
Right. Why would you say something so controversial? It's so brave.
But boy, if anyone ever dicked JR harder, it's WWE. And
Yeah.
Vince McMahon specifically. Like, it's a shame what they put him through for so long. I was happy to see him go. I was happy to see him come back, and now I'm happy to see him go.
I was not happy to see him go the
first time?
No,
because of
not
Ric
the
Flair?
first time. That was not the first time.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
The really annoying time when it was Ric Flair being drunk, which, I mean, I get why he was, but, like, that was not JR's fault. If that was the case, Mysterio and Bryan should have also been shit-canned that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the scapegoat
And
for that.
Stone Cold?
I don't remember who all was on there.
Yeah, because Stone Cold was... Yeah.
But yeah, so it was good to see him come back, especially because it's when you see like these relationships, like San Martino's back in the fold, Warrior came back, like those bridges are built, and so when JR comes back, it's like, okay, well maybe now they're going to treat him with the respect that he deserves. And granted, we did not get that level, that 2K panel event again, or Vince pretending he has the Bell's palsy, making fun of.
Yeah, we didn't get the Dr. Heine segment.
Yeah, we didn't get the outright on-screen humiliation that they like to do with him. But you could say that, man, I don't know. Maybe he didn't want to do a whole lot. Maybe he just wanted to come back for that Legends contract and whatever. We don't know what kind of deal he struck there, or if, he knew how many dates he was going to come in.
But thank God we didn't get that stuff, because if I would have endured another JR mocking segment, I probably would have. I'd had some strong words for him.
Yeah, hopefully we don't end up with that now that he's
leaving.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear about the Dr. Heine segment, Allie?
No.
It's where was it Vince was the doctor, right? He was Dr. Heine, and it was just JR's ass and a very clear cutout picture of JR on the guy's face, and they were pulling stuff out of his ass, and in the end he pulled his own head out of his ass. Hilarious. The comedy writing at that level at that time was beyond reproach. And there's my sarcasm of the week. Moving on. Impact Wrestling reportedly looking for a new network because no one can remember what network they're on now. It's Pop, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's also because Pop is real petty, and they know that even though Impact is like their highest rated show that they like original show that they have, they mentioned wanting a better deal and that they were going to start looking elsewhere. So Pop bumped their time slot. So now they're all going on at like 10/9 Central.
That's some TNN. That's worse than TNN.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Whenever they would censor every, whenever WWE. So there was when WWE was originally on USA Network, not originally, but at the time they would have been on USA for a while. They jumped to TNN, and then they struck a deal to that. Now they're going back to USA. And as they were trying to, advertise that to their live and to their at-home audience to let them know, like, hey, don't turn on this network next week because we're not going to be here. You want to join us on USA Network. TNN censored every time they mentioned USA and the USA Network.
They did a similar thing to ECW when WWE came to TNN, and Paul Heyman would get on there and complain about TNN and what they were doing, and they censored his entire thing. There was one rant he did, and it's just no audio, but you can just see Heyman just yelling and screaming, and at the bottom a thing scrolls by that says, like, ignore the ramblings of this insane man. Maybe he took too many chair shots. It was insane. I can't believe they did that.
But yeah, so
legend.
Impact is looking for a new.
What do you think they end
network.
up?
I don't have any knowledge on what networks would be looking for or
USA on Tuesday nights in a year.
Maybe a streaming service, like maybe do their own thing, like New Japan does.
See, they like half-ass tried that.
They have a streaming service, and it's not.
Oh, they have that Twitch channel. Don't do that. That's a bad idea.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, in fairness, you can make a lot of money on Twitch. Look at people like Ninja and Dr. Disrespect and stuff like that. Granted, yes, that is an entirely different thing they're doing, and it's a whole other audience.
Fortnite.
But it is possible.
I don't think for wrestling it's possible.
So have they renamed the show Anthem Fortnite, and it's just the wrestlers playing.
Tonight on Free V-Bucks Live.
Watch this show and
Son
get
of a-
1,000 V-Bucks. Highest rated show in history.
Yeah, so I don't know where they go. They may end up sticking with Pop if they can't get a better deal. Maybe.
John Morrison come out.
I don't
and
know
does the
the
floss dance.
I don't know
Marco Suze.
I don't know the
Vin Kalisto
ins and outs of TV
I don't either.
deals and.
I know
things
it's
like
rough because remember when Eric Bischoff bought WWE, or he was going to buy WCW, but they didn't have a TV deal, and he said, "Well, what's the point?"
Yeah.
Like he balked at the library because he's like, "Why?"
Mm-hmm. No one wants this garbage.
Oh, the prize for the mixed match challenge is finally announced.
Yes.
That is right?
Yes.
It says MMC, I'm assuming. Okay.
The winners get the number 30 spot in their respective Royal Rumbles.
Put a pin in that.
And
Oh, there's an and?
there's an and. This is straight from WWE.com. An all expenses paid vacation to anywhere they want.
Horse shit.
Together?
WWE.
I don't know if it's together or not, but I thought that tagline was funny. Someone on Reddit made the comment of like, boy, I can't wait for Strowman to talk about his great vacation he had in Riyadh.
Who is it? Is it still Ember Mooney's teaming up with?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
Go,
there was,
Strowman.
Tuesday night.
Go.
Tuesday night for the mixed match challenge. Did you guys stay for that?
Yeah.
Okay. Charlotte Flair had a substitute partner in Jeff Hardy. So I highly recommend anyone go out there and find the GIF of her doing the dance next to him.
It was cringy.
I need to see
I
that.
couldn't see it that close, and I could tell you it was cringy.
I mean, it'd be like me doing it. It's just
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Remind me of that when we talk about AJ.
But yeah, but I think that's a really interesting hook to throw on the mixed match challenge, of having, you know, the number 30 spot, the prize for whoever's in it. On the one hand, it's kind of shady that there's only, you know, 9. It's what is there 9 teams, 8 teams,
10 teams.
Okay, so
5 each.
But so there's a limited number of teams for the roster for that to be. But at the same time, like, and it's also the weirdest part is that we're like halfway through it.
I mean, to me, the weirdest part is that this is a fixed wrestling event that you're giving a prize to the winner. That seems kind of shitty.
This is way better than the winning team. We're going to donate a bunch of money to your charity.
Because they threw out like 10 charities.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, so are you just like, oh, so sorry, Connor's Cure. We scripted Susan G. Komen to win. I don't remember who won last time.
No,
it was a dog rescue.
Yeah.
It was
Rescue
Dogs Rock from New York.
Okay,
Allie was super excited about that.
Which is cool. But at the same time, you then have scripted, like, all right, we're going to throw this out there. Like, we could potentially be giving $10,000 to a charity. Oh, sorry.
You lost.
We decided we didn't want those two to win.
Yeah, but it's odd to me, though, that it's like, okay, the winner gets to take a vacation. That's such
dumb.
a game show prize.
Right, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
But like I said, that was strictly from the
And is it
WWE.com
real?
website.
Like,
I
know
can't
that's a
imagine
stupid
it
question,
is.
but like, will they actually send Strowman and Ember Moon on
No,
a vacation?
they're not going to get a vacation. Are you stupid?
I'm pretty sure it's more like the Tory or the Terry $10,000 challenge.
Yeah, where you
between
get to-
Edge and Christian and the Hardy and the New Brood.
Remember when Vince tried to give that $1 million away and the dude like hung up on him? That's a whole thing right there. That Vince McMahon giving away money shit. He didn't know how to use a phone. He really didn't. He didn't know how to operate
To be fair, he was doing a really weird phone setup on live TV.
Yeah.
It's not like he just had to pick up the receiver and...
He was dialing numbers and shit.
He needed a rotary
There was
phone.
no
That
reason
was the
for
problem.
That should have all been like...
Automated.
Well, not even automated. Just like, hey, just connect me. All right. Monkeys in the back.
And the problem was that he didn't call people that had already been screened. Like, it wasn't like they got a hold of the winner and told him, okay, Vince is going to call you at this time. It very much was he actually just called someone. And I was like, hey, you want $1 million? Who's this?
Hope you're watching Raw.
I would have bricked my pants.
If
Yeah.
my phone rang while I was watching Raw, I would,
You want $1 million, damn it.
it's just
You're like,
Jesse.
holy.
Click. Hang up.
See, but-
Jesse, I can't stay on the phone.
Granted, at the same time, though, it was like, you know, there were reports of like, yeah, someone who was not there for the entire show is next to, after they dumped all that money on the crowd, someone who was not sitting there the entire night shows up with $100 bill for the camera.
Yeah.
So I don't know how legit that whole giveaway was. Paul, where are you? Everything's dark.
Allie, what's that from? The movie Paul with Seth Rogen and
I've
Snowy
never
I don't
River.
think
it.
that's true.
It's not. All right. Reports are that Raw is going to end its overruns.
Yes.
Which they go deep in those overruns, sometimes like 10, 15 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
This week it was only like 3. So
Which I thought was weird.
Which is crazy because they script the overruns. It's not a legit overrun. It's not like they're actually going
I feel like sometimes they are. Like because it's one of those things where when you look at the number of times like things get cut in reports like that we get, I can understand. I'm sure that they are allotted, you know, okay, we can go over by this much.
Mm-hmm.
So now I don't know. Someone on Reddit, like people on Reddit were talking, I was like, oh, well, maybe now we'll get less, you know, 5 minutes ago, here's what you missed.
That would be nice. Hey, for you assholes that don't have an attention span. And finally, before we get to Raw, SmackDown, and the weekend's big shows, the trailer for Fighting With My Family came out today. I watched it, and I thought it looked really good. It was cool to see Nick Frost. I didn't know he was in it, so I thought that was pretty neat. It's the Paige movie.
I know.
Okay. And yeah, it looks really good. The thing that struck me, so Justin Smart posted a thing about how he thought it looked really great. And I replied to it, and I legitimately thought that the main actress had the worst British accent. I'm like, that's terrible. It sounds nothing like Paige. Couldn't they actually get a British girl? She is British. So then I felt like an asshole.
Maybe she doesn't have like that thick of an accent. They're like, we really need you to play it up. Like really, really, you know.
But it was so subtle compared to Paige. Like when you hear Paige talk, you can tell she's British. She's British. She's not quite the level of Pete Dunne sounding like a mongrel with a mouthful of dog food. British, but she's
Do it again.
What's it sound like?
Oh, yeah. Okay, that just sounded like a guy gumming food.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
I can't do Pete Dunne all the time. Like, he's not my best.
We're really just gonna need to save that voice clip.
I just play it whenever I say something stupid instead of that. Anyway,
What would Pete Dunne think of that?
he would say, "Let's get on with this bit."
Wait, what would he say?
He would say anything. He's got a goddamn title in his mouth. That's why he's got 6 teeth, because he keeps pulling them out by holding that title.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Take your grill out of your mouth, Uncle Butt.
Why did that get you?
Because it's a reference to something.
Any goddamn way. What were we even talking about? Paige, what did you think of the trailer?
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I liked it.
Allie, have you seen it?
I have not. I meant to watch it, but then I forgot, and then we started this. So
Then she got high.
It's pretty good.
She got high.
She got high.
I enjoyed it. This is probably not a movie I'll see in theaters, but it'll definitely be like if it.
This is
comes
a
to
WWE
Netflix
film,
or-
right?
Yeah.
I think this will be the probably the best WWE film they've ever done.
Marine 6?
Is that the one with Shawn Michaels?
Maybe.
I'm sorry.
It's the most recent one.
I'm sorry. Michael Hickenbottom.
No,
Look at me. What's going on behind me?
No, I
I'm
can't tell if
just-
that's thunder or if it's a.
Because you both looked really terrified for a second.
Well, no, because I know they were calling for like a thunder snow tonight,
Jesus Christ,
Those
that's
are-
terrifying.
Yeah, that just sounds.
so
like
I can't
that.
tell if it's like a big truck coming from like Sprig here or if it's an actual.
The weirdest part about the trailer is seeing The
going so
Rock
long.
in the movie as The Rock, because he's older Rock playing a slightly younger Rock, but he's still The Rock. It's odd. It looks like a good movie though. I want to see it. I want to see it. I think it's gonna be better than See No Evil. That's my prediction.
Oh, that's what you want to do tonight? You want to fight?
Let's talk about Raw. Because I don't know anything that happened on Raw other than the Becky Lynch thing, because I don't give a shit about anything else that happened on Raw other than the Becky Lynch thing.
We got Ambrose's like not real explanation.
He burned his shield vest.
Yeah,
I know that.
because he said that he was, everyone said that they were best when they were together, but he knew that they just made him weaker, and so I don't think it was the full explanation, but it was a good like starting point.
I really thought that they were going to drag this out more of like Ambrose and Rollins still being on teams, but Ambrose slowly like, is he or isn't he? But they went full on.
Yeah,
he is.
Also, I was wrong. Because even like on that Monday, they mentioned like how could he do this to Rollins, to the fans, or to Roman? So they are keeping they are keeping his whole thing a part of it, which just feels gross.
It's very cringeworthy.
So
I know that Leo Rush or Bobby Lashley and Elias wrestled, and that I think Lashley won.
Leo cost Elias. He like held his foot, so he couldn't get back into the ring to answer a 10 count.
Right.
We got
we got Brock Lesnar murdering both Singh brothers
and Jinder.
Yeah, but did you see that German?
But which one?
Oh,
because
my
it was
God.
all of them.
There was one that looks like he literally like folded one of the Singhs up and like an accordion.
Yeah,
and like it just every time I see Brock do stuff like that, I don't think he gives a shit if someone gets hurt.
Out of 4 Germans, like 3 of the Singh brothers like landed, like 3 of the times the Singh brothers just landed just right here.
Yeah.
Like right on the back of their neck.
Because they're no offense to them, but they're very little.
Yeah,
and he's very big,
and
so,
they ragdoll like
right.
They are amazing ragdolls.
But Jesus Christ, like Brock, I really think he just goes out there and he's like, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do and look cool. Fuck everyone else if they get hurt. And they let him get away with it. That's the shit that pissed me
Xavier
off.
Woods posted a thing on Twitter of that, but the music was one of the really sad songs from Rick and Morty. So like it goes into slow motion in black and white of them just flying through the air. That was pretty fantastic.
They hit the ground, it turns into the wasted thing from GTA.
Yeah, I was about to say, I would like that.
Well, I'm gonna have to watch these falls really
And
quick,
then they get a bounty because they hit someone when they fell.
Yeah, so also because Jinder said that he could calm Lesnar before his match with AJ Styles so that he wouldn't lose focus and he could win. And Lesnar's like, sure, come on in. Paul, you need to hear this. You're Jewish. Still not as good as Gotta Feed the Jew.
But it's up there. It is greatest Jew hits.
Like, I like that. That's a...
All that matters is that Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar are having a great time. They're making each other laugh.
No, they're making each other. Well, they are making each other laugh. They're also making each other a shit ton of money.
I would say Brock Lesnar is like the wrestling version of Andy Kaufman, but Andy Kaufman was the wrestling version of Andy Kaufman. So,
let's see.
I was like, "Hello, Mr.
We already talked about Ronda going hard on the whole millennial thing. because that was, again, she's 2 days younger. And she's like a giant like Sailor Moon Pokemon. Like she's throwing all of these like lame ass like nerdy insults at Becky. Like, oh, she's gonna go watch a K-pop thing.
Didn't she like wear a Vegeta shirt to WrestleMania 31?
Yeah. So it makes no
Missed me
sense.
with that.
Like I get that Ronda's not the best promo. Like she's still new. She needs to.
She's fine.
She has gotten a lot better.
I'm not saying she's not a good promo, just that she's not compared to Becky Lynch. She's not a good
Well,
promo.
yeah.
Who is?
But in Vince McMahon's mind, I am sure he thinks, oh, she needs help. Who better to help her than me? Say this about her. I'm hip.
Dalton's
now watching
the Singh brothers get ragdolled around.
Oh my God, that first one.
Yeah,
Oh, they
it's
only
pretty brutal.
they only get identical.
Okay, that one was clean.
That was cool looking. Though.
That was straight on his back.
But the which this is great for our audio listeners
Sorry.
who can't.
I'm watching
the
that.
like
HC
play by play.
talk.
I'm trying to think of other stuff that. So here's the thing that really bums me about for both SmackDown and Raw is that the Survivor Series match is Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Which, how are we not crapping ourselves in anticipation for Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura?
Well, Nakamura said on
But
SmackDown
Jesus-
that he broke his heart.
But
Yeah, but did you see that promo?
of Nakamura,
Yeah.
was he on SmackDown? Because
No, he did a promo. It was I can't do the accent.
No,
But-
don't do the accent. You can't do the accent.
Yeah, but he was just like, he broke my heart. All he wants to talk about is the Shield. Didn't talk about me. He broke my heart. So I'm gonna break his face. He's
Good.
looking.
There's your
He's looking
justification.
forward instead of looking at me, and that broke my heart.
Right.
I'm giggling now at this. Like this, he is the greatest.
Well, I'm glad I missed that because I just I didn't have a chance to watch SmackDown, so I read a recap and I missed that promo.
Yeah,
while
it
I
was-
like reading the recap, and I'm like, holy crap, was he not even on SmackDown?
He did a
was
promo,
your
yeah.
United States champion who is going into a champion versus champion match, which at the same time, like, boy, kind of pissed Nakamura went to WWE now. Because what has he done? Like, he's the United States champion. I don't think he's even defended the title.
He had that one match with Sami Zayn.
He lost the World Cup qualifier, I'm pretty sure.
He had the Sami Zayn match, and then he had a decent run with the title, a great feud with Joe, and then
the main roster happened.
because he's the artist now.
Yeah.
He's the artist.
So
Shove that down your throat like a lemon whore.
Jesus Christ.
I did hear there's a lot of lemon stealing.
We
boys.
have quite a few in this community.
Yeah, I'm sure we can.
SmackDown. So Dalton, you were at SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean,
You and Derek Boxdorfer were at SmackDown, or Box Dorker is what I call him.
Jesus Christ.
And you guys got to witness a surprise of surprises. Daniel Bryan won the WWE title.
So
And turned heel.
turned heel. Yeah.
Was this a full? I haven't seen it yet. Was
Yes.
this a full heel turn?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was not subtle.
Yeah, Paul Heyman comes out to open SmackDown, and all he said, Daniel Bryan. I just looked at Derek and I was like, so Bryan's winning the belt tonight? And he's
And
like,
Derek actually posted, if Daniel Bryan wins the title tonight, it's like thanks to Dalton for putting it out in the universe.
yeah, because I just heard him say Daniel Bryan. I was like, well, he's winning the belt tonight. And then we got to Daniel Bryan coming to the ring whenever AJ was there, and he said, if you say my name for no reason again, I'm just going to punch you in the face. And that led to a brawl, and then that led to the match. And then slowly but surely, over a 2-hour show, Derek was breaking. It was the most fun I've ever had at a wrestling show, because he was like, damn it, you called it. But yeah, no, so they have an amazing match. Like, it was like 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, I was reading the recap and I knew because I'd already seen the closing moments of SmackDown. So I saw the low blow and the count and then the like face stomps after.
Yeah, the FU Seth Rollins is
Yeah.
what I could call him.
So I knew that was what closed the show. And then as I got to and now Daniel Bryan versus AJ, I was like, holy crap, is that all that they did on SmackDown? That's all they did on SmackDown. All right. Like, it wasn't
But
a
it was
lot.
huge because not only is Daniel Bryan the new champion, but we're a couple of days away from Survivor Series, and now the match is completely changed. It's no longer AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar.
Which, like-
now it's Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar.
That doesn't even shock me a little bit because last year, granted, they gave it 2 weeks to build that matchup because Jinder was the champion going in against Lesnar.
Yeah.
And then AJ won it on a SmackDown.
Yep.
Not a pay-per-view.
First WWE champion to win and lose the WWE title on SmackDown.
Oh, that's a bummer. I mean, cool, but a bummer.
So I just tried to text Lindsay and say I'm glad she's home, and I let her know that we closed early, and my phone autocorrected closed.
Two.
Demoaned.
Who?
We
Demoaned.
We
Yeah.
demoaned early.
We demoaned I
I don't even know what that's supposed to mean.
What does that mean?
But yeah, it was it was insane because, like, all right, so you're watching the match and you get, like, the ref bump and all that, and you're like, all right, what's going to happen?
Mm-hmm. Lesnar's going to come out, lay everybody out.
Well, like, and that was the
Raw's
thing.
gonna invade.
I was saying that to you guys. Like, the only thing I hated about it is I had to go back and watch the match, like, this morning because I spent the entire time watching the aisles because we're 5 days away from Survivor Series and I haven't seen a men's invasion yet. So, like, they're going to do this. Like, this is happening. It didn't, which was a bummer. But, yeah, no, ref falls. Daniel Bryan kicks him low, and I was like, okay, I mean, that understandable. It's for the title. And I'm sure he, like, I mean, that makes sense. Like, it's not really a heel thing. Knees him. All right, that's his finish. Well, like, it's not.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard you say.
That's
and
not
you
even-
Really?
And you wanted to turn Roman Reigns heel against the heel authority. Keep going. We're not getting into the debate. Just keep going.
Don't cut me off and then say I can't keep going.
No, he
No,
said
I'm
keep going.
literally telling you to keep going.
Anyway, but it's like, all right, I understand that for a championship match. Like, that has happened before, and it being like, all right, cool. Because AJ Styles did it to Nakamura. And so you have.
Oh my God. How can you possibly compare those?
It just still happened.
Because, yes, after Nakamura kicked him in the dick like 6 times, there is no build-up to that. You have the ultimate white meat babyface, like good guy of good guys, kicking someone in the dick.
So what do you have?
That is not a good guy thing.
Okay.
You doing
Anyway.
anything?
So that happens, hits him with his finisher.
Please don't enrage him again.
I'll enrage him all I want.
I'm asking you.
Oh,
Just
enrage
let him
him.
keep talking. Just let him keep talking. Oh my God.
So hits him with his finish, and then, like, the crowd is completely silent for, like, a good 10 seconds.
Did you... Okay, because that's weird hearing you say that, because, like, watching it and seeing all the people in the background still doing, like, the yes chant, which, granted, it wasn't the entire arena like normal.
Oh, yeah, it was a very split arena.
But it was like a... But we still love him.
It was uncomfortable.
It's fine.
It was very uncomfortable for a... Yeah, that's what it was. It was the chance. But yeah, no, it was uncomfortable for a second, and then like half of the crowd was like, hell yeah, we're on board, and the other half was like, what the fuck did we just see? Which, like, that was Derek, and then I was like on board, and then we get the greatest thing. He then goes over to AJ.
Did you see these?
No. Okay, so he goes over to AJ, who's still on the ground because he...
On his back.
On his back, yeah. Who just took a dick kick and then a knee to the face. Grabs both of his arms, doesn't lift him up, grabs both of his arms, steps over him like this, with over his head almost, and then just starts stepping on his face.
Yeah, so AJ's on his back, arms extended in the air, and Bryan just starts stomping on his head.
Jeez. So
Which
like,
eventually he lets go of one, and you can see AJ try to cover, but like that's what Cody was talking about. That was heel ROH, the most dangerous man in professional wrestling, Daniel Bryan.
Fuck yeah, it is.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super cool to see, super gross, but it's like, all right, let's see where we go.
Because if there's a Daniel Bryan that they can say can beat Brock Lesnar, it's that one.
And boy, it would be great if we had more than
More than
30 seconds of that Daniel Bryan to showcase.
Yeah.
Do you think this is punishment for him skipping the Saudi show? It's like, yeah, you get the title, but now you're wrestling Captain Throw You on Your Neck, Lesnar.
I have a theory. If you will allow me to say it. I'm going to say it. All right,
Say
cool.
what you did earlier. Just go, sure.
So I think this is all happening because of Roman Reigns. Not in a bad way. I mean, it is what it is.
They're just reshuffling.
They're reshuffling. It's a hard reshuffle, but it can make sense at the end. Mm-hmm. I can tie a bunch of it into one. Last year we had AJ versus Brock, which I even said before, like, the whole Daniel Bryan got mentioned in that promo, that, like, man, it's going to be a bummer that AJ is going to lose to Brock 2 years in a row in the same match. And I was like, that's such a shame because he's, like, the most over face you have. Then that happens.
That's not named Becky Lynch.
That's not named Daniel Bryan until last night.
Honestly, Daniel Bryan
I
had
would
been
say it's AJ Styles over Daniel.
Daniel Bryan had been cooling off.
Really?
Like since WrestleMania, like because they haven't really done anything with him.
Yeah, but I
Like
figured.
he was
all right,
super,
so
the Miz feud, yes. Like, but before
I thought,
and after
okay.
that, there wasn't.
I thought Daniel Bryan just going out doing the yes chants and all that would be enough.
I mean,
I really did.
And it was, but granted, it hasn't been. It's not like he was coming out to no reaction, but it's a noticeable difference from the WrestleMania 30 to his re-debut to even Tuesday night.
Yeah, so because like I've been in 3 different yes chants. Before WrestleMania 30, where it was super white hot, WrestleMania 34, where it was super white hot, and then Tuesday, where it was like, no, I mean, that's still a thing.
Yeah.
Like it's been on like not a steep decline, but like a slight one. So they had to say Lesnar versus Styles. That was the match. We don't know how long Roman's going to be out. I'm assuming it's multiple year.
Yeah.
Like he's going to be gone for a substantial amount of time.
If he comes back.
Right,
If he comes
there
back,
is a
yeah.
legitimate, and I hate to say this, there's a legitimate chance he might not survive it, and I hate to say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to put that ether.
But I am
Taking
staying
even like best case scenario, it is you're looking at like 2 years minimum.
Yeah,
Right.
I am staying super optimistic about it.
Good.
Good. So, who's your most over face? That's a man in the entire roster.
Becky Lynch is
Becky
the
Lynch
man.
is the man.
Who is a
Oh,
be
be
real-
careful.
be real
Careful.
Be real careful here.
Allie, get him.
a male superstar? Who is your most over face?
Like, that is male or identifies as male?
Is male.
I would say Seth Rollins.
Jesus Christ.
Like not being shitty. I would say Seth Rollins.
That was the other person I was thinking, but he has the thing with Dean.
Right.
So it'd be AJ Styles would be your next one, probably. Safe to say.
I would put him in top 3. Yeah.
Okay. So,
Because like it's a whole other discussion. But like
but you get what I'm saying.
yeah.
So you really that's who you want to beat Brock is your top face. Rollins is obviously doing something with Ambrose. AJ Styles probably your next logical choice over who would we want to put over Brock. Well, we don't want him to lose in a title versus title match because then who's going to beat him for the title except for Strowman? Okay. Switch the title. Well, now Lesnar has the title. Give the title to Daniel Bryan and turn him heel to be against Brock. Have them have their Survivor Series match. Mixed match challenge. They go undefeated, win the whole thing. AJ Styles comes out at the Royal Rumble, wins at 30, then says, you know what? I didn't get to tap out Brock Lesnar because of Daniel Bryan. So I'm going to go to Raw, and I'm going to tap out Brock Lesnar in the main event at Mania. And then have him go over at Mania.
That's what a lot of people are saying is that they're moving that to the Mania main event.
Which, like, good because it's Owen. It keeps everybody looking okay because it keeps AJ from going 0-2. It gives us a new match that we haven't seen before, and it doesn't really hurt Bryan if he loses, unless he gets actually hurt by Brock Lesnar. And it keeps Brock staying undefeated against your top marquee main event talent.
Right.
That's not on Raw. So you can still have people feud with him before Mania.
Right.
That was my thought. And that's
not
like
a bad thought.
Because everything happening post Roman's announcement of leukemia, all of this is making a lot of sense that it's going to be Styles versus Lesnar at Mania.
And then the speculation of do they turn Miz face, and then you get face Miz versus heel Bryan.
I don't like face Miz.
Can you do face Miz?
Yes,
Yeah.
you can. They haven't done it a lot.
Question 2. Have they ever done face Miz? I'm legitimately
Yes,
asking.
Yes. He had a real brief window as the United States champion that he was face because it was like people were super behind him when he was U.S. champion and then when he won Money in the Bank. But he was still mostly being perceived as a heel. He was being mostly portrayed
And then
as a
he
heel.
had a weird feud with Kofi where nobody was heel and
Yeah.
nobody was face.
Yeah, they just hated each other.
And it was just
Kind
like
of a-
they would both do weird things in a match. Like they would both do heel and face stuff simultaneously at the same time.
Yeah.
Man, I'm happy the New Day happened. Also, being live for those pancake throws, he was getting to the back rows of the Enterprise Center. Those things were flying. I was really hoping to catch one.
Just real quick. So, because there was that 6-man of New Day versus The Bar and Big Show.
Yeah.
The Bar going to represent SmackDown as their tag team champions against the AOP, which is going to be I'm excited for that Hoss fight.
Yeah.
Who gets the win?
The Bar.
New Day.
Well, that team for The Bar Big Show. Big Show's the one that gets the win.
It's not a 6-man though.
Exactly. Why
He's saying why is Big Show
Why
winning?
is Big Show the one getting the pin on the
Oh!
SmackDown before Survivor Series?
I'm sorry.
Where he's not even going to wrestle.
Yeah, no.
because
I was about to
he's
say,
the Big Show.
I read that wrong. That was my
No.
bad.
That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense to Vince, though, because the older wrestlers are the more popular ones. They're the ones you got to put over.
Well, that's who you went to go see. You went to go see
Big Show.
You were like, oh, Big Show's gonna be there.
You
All
were
right.
hoping Hogan was going to make an appearance.
Yeah.
Because you didn't go for like AJ Styles or Daniel Bryan.
So how far is Big Show going to throw Drake Maverick?
all the way
Yeah, because they're both.
Toss his ass back to England.
back to
Also-
205 Live.
Are we good with SmackDown? Are we gonna go to
Yeah,
Survivor
no, we're
Series?
good. Let's just be
I don't
done
think
with
a
it.
lot of things happen.
I still hated the because there was a major thing of the announcement that Charlotte was replacing Becky.
Oh, yeah, I
and
hated
then
that.
they hugged, and this bullshit brand supremacy
It's a respect
nonsense.
thing. It's a respect
It goes
thing.
so far against everything that they've done between these two. And I hated it. I hated the fact that Sanity is all of a sudden super Team Blue, even though they haven't been on SmackDown for like 6 months, other than to introduce Nikki Cross, who again wasn't fucking there. I hate Survivor Series. I hate the brand versus brand bullshit because in 2 weeks it's not going to matter.
I loved it.
If they would, all they have to do is say whoever wins Survivor Series gets the main event of WrestleMania. We've already established that whoever wins the Royal Rumble, yes, you're in a main event. It doesn't matter. But okay, no, that show, you are the last match of WrestleMania, the true main event.
Dalton, go.
Put any kind of stakes on it.
Please, Dalton.
That was actually what I was asking if we could wrap up SmackDown, because I wanted to talk about Survivor Series, the tag versus tag, like the SmackDown versus Raw tag match. Mm-hmm. Did you watch the video for the tag, like where the Usos go through like that really dark room at the
the Usos penitentiary, and they with the Colognes, the Good Brothers, and Sanity.
Did you notice that only Eric Young got a T-shirt? Because there are well over 10 people at that point.
Yeah, because they probably... Well, no, okay, so it's New Day. Who's 3 members. Sanity, who's 3 members. And then...
Usos?
Yeah, Usos, Good Brothers, and Colognes.
So that's 12. So unless the Usos are team captains and they're not wrestling, which could be a thing...
No, there's only going to be 2 people from each team. Like, it's not going to be all 3 members of Sanity. It's going to be...
Well, no, I was thinking all 3 members of New Day. That's why I was asking.
No, just 2... It's going to be 2 members from each stable.
So, wait, what is this match?
This is the Raw versus SmackDown tag team
It's
match.
that many teams against each other?
There are 9 matches at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Go ahead, let's run through it. Yeah.
Well, let's do Takeover first.
Oh, yeah, we have
let's
Takeover.
do- Well, Takeover's
Let's
gonna be
run
real
through
quick.
Survivor Series, because I want to spend more time on Takeover.
Okay.
Cruiserweight Championship, Buddy Murphy versus Mustafa Ali.
Watch 205 Live from this week because Cedric Alexander and Lio Rush fucking killed it.
Watch 205 Live every week because there has been at least one amazing match, if not multiple.
So we've just done away with the curse words, right?
Oh, I have
Because
not
we
been paying
all
I don't know.
curse.
I don't know. Go back and listen to last week. You tell me.
Told you not to do that.
You tell me.
I deleted that episode. You can't even
so
listen
it's
to it.
the-
Didn't I listen to it like
There, but so there's the 4 championship interbrand matches, and then each division gets a Survivor Series match. So with the on the pre-show, it's the tag team elimination style match. Which do they do it where the tag team, if one member of the tag team is eliminated, both members are gone?
Yep, that's what happened last year with the New Day. Because
Okay.
remember they were captains.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Okay. But so it's Team Raw, which is Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, because they haven't turned on each other yet.
Oh,
The Revival, poor Revival. The B Team, Lucha House Party, so any combination of Lince Dorado, Kalisto, or Grand Metalik, and the Ascension, versus Team SmackDown, the Usos, the New Day, Sanity, Gallows Anderson, and the Colognes, Epico and Primo.
Boy, I don't like that match because am I the only one that thinks like Raw is dead in the water with those teams?
I don't know. SmackDown doesn't feel much better. You got the Colognes, who haven't been on TV in 6 years at this point.
That's true.
And Gallows and Anderson haven't really done anything lately.
It's pretty much just Usos, New Day, and Sanity versus Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, the Revival, and the B Team.
Kinda.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it really does spotlight how weak the tag division is, and that's not even fair because a lot of those tag teams are amazing. It's
They're just not pushed well.
They're not being presented or
Right.
used at all in any meaningful capacity. Then you have the tag team champions versus champions match, AOP versus the Bar, which Drake Maverick and Big Show in their respective corners.
It'll be a good match.
The 5-on-5 elimination women's match, Mickie James, Nia Jax, Tamina, Natalya, and Ruby Riott, which, all right, we're going to have we're going to have Bayley and Sasha wrestle for like 10 minutes, and then all the heels are just going to beat them up, and neither of you are in the match. Ha ha ha. How funny. Team Unity. But we're going to band together to beat SmackDown.
I will be honest, I thought that was kind of funny. Like, that fits Alexa Bliss so well of, like, yeah, you guys get a spot, and then, like, nah, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to see you beat each other up. And also, at least in this match, a lot of these matches are very much the whole, okay, you've got faces and heels together because of the unity thing. Mm-hmm. At least this match, the women's match, they're all bad guys, except for Natalya.
Yep.
And then on the other side, they're all pretty much good guys except for
Sonya Deville.
And
probably
to be announced. Who's the to be announced?
Probably Mandy Rose. It was Charlotte. But now Charlotte's out of that match. That was amazing.
Was that your hand or your neck?
Of my hand.
Okay, can you still move it?
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, cool.
You're fine. Put some dirt on it. But yeah, no. So Charlotte was pulled out of that to face Ronda. So now it's TBA. I'm assuming it's Mandy Rose because they've been doing that weird, like, since she eliminated Sonya Deville at the Evolution Battle Royal, they've been teasing tension, even though they haven't really been a team.
Right.
They haven't really done anything as a team. So that's,
I like Mandy Rose. What if TBA is a new women's wrestler?
that would be kind of hilarious.
Introducing
TBA. The 5-on-5 men's elimination match, Team
Total
Raw,
badass. That
Dolph
could be
Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, and Bobby Lashley with Baron Corbin and Leo Rush versus Team SmackDown, The Miz, Rey Mysterio, Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, and the best in the world, Shane McMahon.
I can't describe to you the anger that I get every time I see Shane McMahon in a match like this.
After Randy Orton RKO'd The Miz because reasons.
St. Louis.
I
No,
guess,
that was legit it.
But then don't do that on TV. Do that on the commercial break.
Do that after the show.
And as your heel to come out, it's ignorant. Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan. Please survive. Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair is your Survivor Series card.
I really feel at this point, and now I know for a fact, that wrestling will never be what it was to me when I was a kid, because I used to be so excited by the Survivor Series and the matches. I'm not excited at all about this show, despite the fact that this show's matches are 1 billion times better than what I watched as a kid. Because I watched the little people fight with Jerry Lawler. I watched those random ass teams thrown together, and none of them were very, like, no one was excited to see, what was his name? The big country guy. I can't believe I'm blanking on his name.
Hillbilly Jim?
Hillbilly Jim. I can't believe I blanked on him.
You mean Billy Hills' uncle?
Yeah. But I am not excited about this show at all. Like, I'm looking at these matches going like, oh, that'll be a good match, but I don't have an excitement.
Yeah.
Like, there's no...
Well, it's because the whole, like, brand, you were doing a bit earlier, but, like, the brand loyalty thing is stupid.
It is.
And when you remove the actual legit reason for them to compete in a match like this, it removes why should you care.
Yeah, because at least the old Survivor Series matches, they would take teams who were like...
It's like, okay, I hate you,
Yeah.
so I'm going to get 3 people...
Right. Who hate the guys that you hate.
You find the 3 people that they hate,
Right.
and now we're all just going to fuck each other up.
I know I don't think you're a gigantic fan of the match, but the DX versus Rated RKO Survivor Series
The best
match,
thing about that was CM Punk getting to say, "Are you ready?"
Well, my favorite part about that was that it was CM Punk with the Hardys, with Shawn.
DX.
And, and not that I gave a shit about DX really, but it's the fact that they put him next to them and all like, oh, these guys are important too.
because like that's one of my favorite Survivor Series matches.
And they
Didn't they
survived.
win in a sweep?
Yeah,
they
all
did,
survived.
and that's why, because it was just like, and again, it's really shitty when you think about it. But whenever like Mike Knox is the first one in the ring, and Shawn, like they're doing a team huddle, Mike Knox tries to like cut in, and Shawn Michaels just super kicks him, pins him 1, 2, 3. Shawn Michaels gets up. Who's that guy? Who was that? Was he in the match? Was he in?
Bury them.
Yeah, that's.
Well, it was Mike Knox
He
or
did
Nux.
Put a back to you
yeah, you
OVW
didn't
sticker
put
on
him in a crate back to.
That was the Spirit Squad.
That's what we're referencing.
Dolph.
Could we be any more clear about this?
NXT Takeover War Games 2 gonna be the way better show.
With way fewer matches.
So few 4 matches. There are 4 matches. Which granted, the Shayna Baszler defending against Kairi Sane is a 2 out of 3 falls match.
That'll be good.
For the NXT Women's Championship. That's gonna be real good.
Yeah.
There is the
You tell me a match on here that's not going to be real good.
No, yeah. There's Aleister Black versus Johnny Gargano.
Woo, match of the weekend.
You say that, and you're not like I'm not saying you're wrong, but like these other 2 though.
So is it a little weird that they've now turned 2 of the biggest underdog baby faces and 2 of the biggest asshole heels?
Do you
like
follow
2
Johnny
weeks, like 3 weeks apart? Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
No,
you-
I had that same thought.
Do you follow Johnny Gargano on Instagram?
I don't.
So his main thing recently has been tweeting pictures of like him holding a baby, and then Aleister Black like doing his demonic stuff, and he's like, good guy, bad guy.
Yeah.
But there was one recently, like it's a super old picture of Daniel Bryan, like on the Indies, and Gargano's in the background, and he's just like, score another one for the good guys.
He posted that on after Tuesday night.
Yeah.
No, I'm loving heel Johnny. Like it's really entertaining. The promo he cut on Wednesday of like the selfie style as he was in the parking lot where he attacked Aleister was just super cool. He had a really good nice like, you know, you keep saying that you should be afraid of the dark, but I'm starting to like it. You should be deathly afraid of me. Like,
And
oh,
again,
That's awesome.
If you take the belt off of Ciampa, put those two back together and put him on the main roster.
He should stick his head through the curtain when he comes out and goes, "Here's Johnny."
That's the other great thing is Ciampa tweeting about how proud he is
Yeah, I saw
of Johnny Gargano.
Okay, all right, but is that okay? Because we very clearly sometimes whenever there's a like, oh, because they're bad guys now, why do they get along? If Gargano and Ciampa, after everything Ciampa did to Gargano, though,
the Shield,
because he's acknowledging why. They aren't just randomly tagging again. He's actually saying, oh, you're actually willing to do what it takes. I knew this was the real you. I was right.
And Gargano didn't reply, though, did he?
No, and Gargano's not being buddy-buddy up to him.
Okay,
if that were to happen, minus him, like, you know what? You were right. Because that's kind of what Sami Zayn did.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they played that very well. This is similar. They're actually giving us a reason instead of just...
You're together.
Now you're... Okay, now
the enemy
you're,
of my enemy is my friend.
Right. Now you're just... Now you're just... your alliances match up, so here you go. We have Tommaso Ciampa versus Velveteen Dream for the NXT Championship.
Sounds like a dream match.
It really
Velveteen
is.
one.
Their build has been phenomenal, too.
It has.
Just... it's so good. NXT's so good. And then this isn't going to be the main event, probably, but the War Games match is coming back. It's the Undisputed...
You said that's not going to be the main?
wasn't it the main last year?
I don't remember.
I think it was.
It might
I'm
have
pretty
been.
sure it was.
I'm going out of order on what it's on Wikipedia.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why I think it may not be. But yeah, Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, Bebe, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong versus Pete Dunne, Ricochet, and the War Raiders, Hanson and Rowe.
Man, I'm not comfortable with that roof not being there anymore.
That's going to be
I was
gross.
perfectly cool with it last year. I was like, oh yeah, no, they can do some cool stuff. Now Ricochet's in that match. That's not safe. That has now become so much more unsafe.
I'm very much looking forward to War Raiders probably double power, like they're in each ring and they double power bomb Kyle O'Reilly onto that metal grating that's connecting the two rings. Calling that shot now.
Because
I'm not happy about
what
it.
I say last year, oh, I can't wait for somebody to do a spot on that.
Yeah, and then they did, and you were like, I take it back.
Yep, didn't like that.
So which show do you think is going to be better this weekend? Takeover or Survivor Series? Predictions.
I mean, see, okay, here's the thing, is you say that jokingly, kind of like snarkily, because clearly it's NXT.
But I've always loved War Games.
But in fairness, we're going to be here at like 5 o'clock watching Survivor Series, because that show's going to go 5 hours. NXT is going to be a real clean 2.
Yeah.
And it's so much easier to just sit through high intensity, just hit after hit after hit for a short period of time than the amount of a 5 hour experience with.
God, remember
so
how
it is kind of unfair to
we were so
to make that
drained after
comparison.
Mania.
But by far, NXT is going to just blow it out of the water. Plus, you get War Games, which is so much more of a spectacle than Survivor Series is now.
Yeah, because we didn't get War Games for 20 years.
Long time. Almost as old as she is. In fact, she was her birth foretold
I think the last
coming.
one was like 99. Yeah.
It foretold the coming of the War Games again when she became of age and became a woman. All right. Well, with that note, we're going to head out of here. We have 5 minutes to set up for live. So,
Are we doing live?
I thought you guys still wanted to.
Holy, it's right at 7:30.
Well, it's 7:17.
Well, yeah.
So we're going to make this real quick. Patreon.com/Podzilla1985, Facebook.com/Podzilla1985, and of course, Podzilla1985.com if you want to listen to the old episodes. You guys have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow for After Dark, and it'll be nostalgic. Probably won't be very good, but it'll be nostalgic. Bye.